Music Buzz Live Radio here, powered by Evergreen Apothecary and Mary's Medicinals. We are so proud to have those two amazing companies on board. Thank you so much to them for their support. This has been an amazing ride so far with World Viral, and this is a product of it, Pot Talk right now.
Pot Talk.
Chad Drew, take it away.
Pot Talk.
Hashtag Pot Talk. One of these days, Chris Thomas is going to start hashtagging.
You were going to get him to hashtag, I think. There it is. Hey, yo. So, yeah, I don't know, are we doing the intro or are we just going to jump on into it?
Break it down, man. Well, first introduce him.
For sure. So this is my boy Channing Brown. He actually runs Herbal Health Systems.
That's right.
You can find it online, herbalhealthsystems.com.
Exactly.
And that's systems with the S at
With
the end.
the S, right.
For sure. Right on. So welcome, man. Let us know a little bit about Herbal Health Systems, what they do. Our audience doesn't all the time know, so feel free to break it on down.
Awesome. Now, we're Herbal Health Systems, and what we do is we take care of the medical marijuana doctor's side of things when you need to get your medical marijuana card.
Right.
First of all, you have to have a medical condition that's approved by the state.
Right.
And if that's the case and you want to use medical marijuana as a treatment option, you should give us a call. And we can take care of you.
So the question I've always kind of had, because I've never been through this process, how difficult or easy is it to prove that you might have the condition that you say that you have? And what is required in order to get the card, basically?
To actually have it? Well, I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of different reasons you can get your card.
Mm-hmm.
And, to prove, like you're saying, to prove that you have, a said condition could be kind of easy. So it depends if it's glaucoma.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll have something from, your doctor, or you might even have medications that you can come in, and that's easy proof.
Okay.
Other things, let's see, migraines, and, there's other things, irritable bowel syndrome. Those are a little bit harder to prove, especially nowadays. We're finding a lot of folks don't see doctors. So they don't have a doctor that they've been seeing. So they don't have any medical records. But the good part is that you're going to sit with a medical doctor and you can explain, your condition.
Okay, so he can kind of like diagnose, quote unquote.
Well, basically, before you go, obviously, if you go on the Colorado CDPHE, Colorado Department of Public Health
and Environment.
Yeah, God, it's such a long ass thing. But anyway, if you go on their website, you can look at the list of the different ailments that are typically prescribed marijuana, medical marijuana, and then. Obviously, it always does help to bring medical records. I know that it's not required.
But it does make the job easier.
I'm sure it speeds the process along
exactly.
a little bit.
It grease the skids, as they say.
Where would I go on this website here?
So let's.
there's the website right there, I believe.
Exactly, and it should be marijuana.
Yeah, I think.
Is it just /marijuana?
Is that the? Yeah, that is the right one. Yeah.
Anyway, while he's bringing that up,
he's pulling up.
With your role, give us a little bit of a lowdown about what you do.
Well, I do pretty much everything except what the doctor does.
Okay, right on.
So when you walk in, you're going to see me. A lot of times when you call in, you're going to speak to me. It's really personal at Herbal Health Systems. There's not a million folks, a million employees running around.
Yeah.
You're going to get the real deal. So you're more than likely going to speak with me. I'll check you in, set you up with all the paperwork. A lot of folks, what do I need to bring? And it's like, hey, all you need is your ID. You come in, and the process is pretty streamlined. We have a little bit of paperwork to fill out, a little doctor's questionnaire. And then you're in to see the doctor for the evaluation. Usually, 10, 15 minutes with the doctor. It takes as long as you need. If you have questions, she'll answer.
Yeah.
But it takes as long as you need. Then you're seeing me again. You're gonna have to get your paperwork notarized, and I go over it with with a fine tooth comb. You got to cross your T's, dot your I's. Zero mistakes.
Very much so.
That's what people want to hear, though, right?
Well, zero mistakes, and they're unforgiving up there.
Yeah, the city is actually really. I remember when it first started out. in the years ago, even if you use the wrong color ink, if you scratched out anything, you pretty much just needed to do the paperwork again.
Yeah.
So
slows you down a couple of weeks, and you're going to get a voided application sent back to you and start from scratch.
Okay.
So we try to avoid all of that, so it's a nice smooth process, and you're able to get your card. As a new patient, you'd be able to use your paperwork as a temporary card.
Okay.
And we generate all that in the office. You'll be able to use that while you're waiting for the state to process all the paperwork.
And that takes about how long?
The state's going to take about, they like to allow themselves 4 to 6 weeks.
right.
As they do with everything.
I usually say 5 to 6 weeks, but
Exactly. But and sometimes they'll speed it up. I've seen folks come back, and say they have their card back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ACDPHE is doing, they're on it.
They were overwhelmed too. So I know that this process is definitely one, not only your business but their business has definitely needed to streamline through the years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously at the beginning you're looking at 6-month waits. Remember that way back in the
wow.
day.
Yeah, I remember.
So, but
Way
now
back
these
in the day.
days it's definitely much more streamlined. They
Couple
take
of
care
weeks.
of you well.
Yeah, and they're constantly updating the paperwork, tweaking things, tweaking the process. Our last update on the paperwork was in November, and it's really easy now.
Right.
It's really easy.
Yeah, before back in the day, some of the old papers were so kind of. I mean, you'd kind of imagine that they're kind of brainless because it's name, address, social security number. But the ways and the placements of things have definitely changed along the way.
Exactly.
That's one of the things I've loved about Herbal Health Systems is that they're really really good at just getting the paperwork done. If you qualify, the doctor approves of it. Channing makes it very, very easy and painless, and I've had many patients come and tell me that.
Yeah, we try hard, and and the other piece is, we put myself in the patient's shoes. Waits. Nobody likes to wait, and it doesn't matter about anything.
And with the state, you have to wait for everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as far as the evaluation, you don't want to make the process like going down to the DMV,
right?
Or to be akin to that. We do by appointments, so you can set up online, a couple of clicks, and you have a ballpark when you're going to get in and out of for the day. Versus when I got my card the first time, it was a all-day affair.
It definitely was.
DMV.
Right.
And you had to have like $300 in your pocket.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You wasn't joking there. Things were different. And actually, as far as the state fees as well.
Yeah.
When I got, in the beginning, 90 days. It was $90. It cost you $90 to get your card with the state's
that's
fee.
right.
Okay.
And today it's $15.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's talking about prices going down. Nothing goes down. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's a pretty
Yeah,
pretty
it
good
was
deal.
close to 400 back in the day, but these days, going through Channing and whatnot, it's under 80.
Total start to finish?
Total start to finish.
$80
Wow.
to get you a little change back is
Yeah.
matter.
That just
Yeah.
answered my next question. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's completely affordable.
Yeah, and I mean, that even includes the certified mail, which you need to do with the paperwork that Channing's talking about in regards to being able to, if you're a first-timer, to be able to use it temporarily for the first 35 days.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, you got this, Chad.
I'm trying to learn it for you, man. You taught me well, man. No.
You got it. No, and you're right. For the first 35 days, you can use that card, kind of like a temporary driver's license when you have that little deal there. Yeah.
Okay. So these days with the rec stores everywhere, what exactly are the main benefits of having a red card? Like, why would somebody like me that didn't go through the process before, but has always been a user, do it now?
Number one, medical condition.
Yeah.
So you might look at recreational marijuana and the medical marijuana. I guess number one would be price.
Yeah.
That might be number one.
That makes
But if you
sense.
need a card, you have to take a look at that, and you have to be legit. You got to have a medical condition. I don't know, where you've been, your walk of life here, but I like to say if you worked hard enough, played hard enough, or lived long enough, you have something on the list.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure I could find something.
Well, and I mean, aside from the price that Channing refers to in regards to the difference between recreational and medical, there's a lot of products that on the medical side have a higher potency or are just that extra little bit level higher to be able to make sure that the true medical patients, which is the reason why the industry even came around, and they're the most important people within the whole industry of the fun times, are square. There's some products that are only available to those that have the red card because it's a child with seizures, it's a patient undergoing a horrible, chemotherapy treatment, anything like that. And so we want to make sure that those patients are medically square however we can, and to be able to have someone as Channy to be and his staff to be able to be there and kind of sift through and make sure that we're getting those people squared away the right exact way is very important.
Yeah, the access to certain medicines, what I hear from the patients, I had to get my card because it's not on the recreational side.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And that's a no-brainer. You're going to get you need your card.
Absolutely.
You need your card. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you see it kind of going in the future? I mean, I always mention with all of the guests that we have, this industry evolves daily, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I know that your niche of the industry has definitely evolved. What do you think is going to be bringing on in the future?
Well, I think what is something that's going to be addressed, or is going to have to get addressed because it's getting into the political realm now, are families. I'm seeing a lot of families, man, a lot of moms and children with the seizures. It's nothing pretty about it. It's something that needs to get addressed. In Congress, you hear about the Charlotte's Web strains getting approved for medical marijuana use in places, Florida, places that you wouldn't think.
Yeah, totally.
Southern states, So even the governors are on board because we're talking about children. So they got to really figure that out, and that's going to be huge. The other piece is cancer. And, that's a touchy situation to talk about because, there's big pharma.
Right.
And, that's a whole nother road, maybe a whole nother episode on what that is. But I think oils for cancer and oils for the seizures is something that is probably going to be what spearheads things to get the whole nation squared away, at least medically. The recreational piece, I have no idea. That's up to.
I
the
totally agree. I
policymakers.
mean, those two have definitely made the limelight and definitely spearheaded the fight. The Colorado scene. I mean, you've seen the media just blow it up, having CNN talk about people from Jersey rolling out here, establishing residency just for their kid because they can't. What kind of a percentage are you finding on the kids? I mean. There's got to be a high amount. We get it all the time.
Well,
so.
I tell you what, down in Colorado Springs, you've seen it on TV, CNN, the Realm of Caring, Stanley Brothers, the folks down there.
Right.
They're doing the best they can. But there's marijuana, family refugees, as they call them.
Right.
I've had conversations. It's pretty strange, man. You think about it. Some of these folks can't go back home because they've, it's been looked at that they've been abusing their child by giving them marijuana. So they can't go back home, split families. A lot of funny things, I shouldn't say funny, but, laws.
Yeah,
don't make
silly
sense.
laws and stuff.
Silly laws,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's I don't even know if you know this, but our company's Evergreen Apothecary, Open Vape, and Colorado Harvest Company, we actually just are about to launch a new strain called Open Heart. We were actually talking about
beautiful.
last week, which is 30-1 instead of the 26-27-1 that Charlotte's Web is.
Wow.
So I think that fighting that fight is known throughout the industry as being. I mean, the guys down in Colorado Springs with Charlotte's Web, that piece that they did on them was eye-opening.
Right.
I think
There
for the nation, without a doubt. They had no idea that there would be a kid in Jersey that needed this, and the only way that they're going to be able to function is to have this, and the extremes that the families are going to. And I think that throughout the whole industry, I mean, we're on board of trying to get there. Try to make sure that everything's square like that.
There's if you wanted to see firsthand what's going on there's a Facebook page that you can follow. I spoke with the mom. I try not to drop names. I want to make sure I'm
for sure.
But straight up, she's okay with it because this is exactly what we're talking about. It's Austin's Answer, and it's on Facebook. It's a page, and she daily, multiple times a day, what's going on, and you can see. She'll tell you. You know what? Just check it out. Just check it out.
Is it right here?
You get goosebumps checking that out.
Austin's Answer. Is that it right
there?
there?
It is. Yep. And you can read multiple times a day. I mean, the child has a seizure, oil, has a regimen, and it works. And I mean, you want goosebumps? Some of these stories out there, that'll do the job, man.
Right.
It'll do the job. And it's kind of what I don't know. It was what drives me. It's what drives me.
I was actually going to get into that with you. Actually, I know you. Like I've said it a couple times. We've both been in the industry for a while, and I know that every year this is a requirement. So every year you really only get that half hour to 45 minutes with them. Yeah. But I know that there's those memorable stories.
Oh yeah.
I know there is, and I know that you having the chance to diagnose with your doctor, get the paperwork going initially, and then you don't see him for a year. So it's massive change, I imagine, in your eyes.
Oh.
What have you, tell me a story about somebody that you've seen a repeat over 4 or 5 years because they've come and gotten your card.
Man. Mm-hmm.
What kind of an impact have you seen?
As far as the impact, I've seen, it's going to sound weird, but I've seen cancer cured.
I imagine.
Brain cancer, blown away. I've had folks come in, with the whole chemo bit, no eyebrows, the bandana, and just telling me how much it sucks, Channing, this sucks, man, and I just can't wait to go home and get into bed type of thing. And you see them next year, and they got weight on them.
They got color.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, I guess you see it too. But that's more than anything, money can do. You're just so blessed that you're in a position to be helping folks. So that's a good deal. But big thing, cancer patients, looking at children, when I get folks come in, I get middle-aged folks taking care of their elderly parents, aging parents.
Yeah, sure, that's got to be going on.
That's awesome to see when you see a Reefer Madness era person.
Starting to try to accept it.
Turn the page but have a comfortable, a twilight years if you want to do it that way versus having vertigo, tripping out on all of these meds that some of these folks come in on. So when you hear you hear stories like a medical doctor yelling at a diabetes patient, saying, "What are those guys trying to do? Get you off your meds?" And you let that sink in for a minute and go, "Let's think about that." That's exactly what we want to do.
Right.
You don't want to take oxycodone or some of these walking zombies.
We have it all the time. Patients. We have it all the time in the shop, and I guess I shouldn't say God bless Big Pharma, but you're going to do what it is that you're going to do. Thanks for the money, Big Pharma. I'm not trying to fight you. I'm just trying to give that second option to somebody. And when I have somebody, as in today, dude, I had a dude that came in and he had been taking, 5 oxycodone a day, and his doc had so many millions of Percocets a month prescribed for him. And I mean, and I know you run into that all the time, man. Just the difference between that, and if you guys want to keep that, and you don't want to have marijuana or cannabis be a part of your life, then go that way. I mean, if that's the road that you choose, I think we all grew up with our parents saying Advil's great, or Bayer, I guess, back in the day, and that's different kind of Big Pharma, of course. But I think having the option, especially with those taboo generations that thought that it was just the most heinous thing in the world.
Right. Yeah. When you see that reason, that breakthrough in reason, and you get the tongue-in-cheek guy that'll tell you, listen, in public there, that's not something I would do. But they have the story that, hey, when a grandparent was wasting away, cousins would go out and get street. It was the only thing that worked. And you'd hear stuff like that and go, wow. it's too bad you live in a state that you can go to jail for that. To making grandma, grandpa happy,
Just
or
trying to
comfortable.
increase that quality of life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
For sure. So,
Exactly.
All right. Well, so real quick, where can we find you guys again?
Easy. It's herbalhealthsystems.com.
Okay.
And you can get all the information that we just spoke about as far as pricing, the medical conditions are there, phone number, all that information, and it's a couple of clicks away from scheduling an appointment.
Okay.
If that's what you decide.
Channing's
to do.
one of the cool ones too because he does do evening appointments. So all you guys that are out there that might have a daytime job that really have been wanting to get your medical card, he sacrifices a couple of nights a week to be able to stay late so that everybody has.
This is it, right?
Yep.
That's it.
Where is the office?
It's in here in Denver. Down at the bottom there's an address there, but it's 4101 East Wesley Avenue. It's off of South Colorado Boulevard.
Basically, it's just south of I-25 on Colorado
exactly
Boulevard.
Where that is.
When you used to
super
go down to
convenient.
get to Celebrity, instead of going towards Celebrity Sports Center, you go the other
Celebrity
direction.
Sports Center.
You know?
That's
So-
like
Some old
Casa
school
Bonita.
days.
That's
yeah.
way old school right there. So, Channing,
right,
we
man.
appreciate you very much for all you do. I know that you're one of the forefronters of fighting this fight. We appreciate you. I think everybody needs to go down and check out Herbal Health Systems. They definitely know what they're doing. So,
All right, yeah, thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
coming down, man. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We'll keep in touch. This is Music Buzz Live Radio. We will be back with Kersey here in just a couple minutes.
hell yeah.
Thank you for watching Pot Talk with Chad Drew from
Evergreen Apothecary.
Pot Talk. Pot Talk. It's where we talk about pot. Pot Talk. Talk about pot.